Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Online. We have a very special feature all the way from Africa. Yes, Africa, in Nigeria, live now with Peace from Nigeria. Peace, how are you doing?
Hello, good evening, BWTM. I'm fine, thank you.
How are you today?
Very well.
Great. So the reason we're doing this interview, of course, is because of those two videos that you sent us recently regarding Nigeria and that township.
Yeah, exactly. The videos were recorded on my friend's birthday. We did an outreach to some destitutes around our community, and I found out that a lot of people are suffering and something has to be done.
So you sent the video out to us. You know that we do videos, and I first met you over on Twitter, and you sent those lovely videos over to me regarding this. Talk to us a bit more about that township that you were in.
Okay, basically, the state I'm in is Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria. The township is Ebutemeta. It's a very busy area in Lagos. The place is called Okobaba, home for destitutes. There are a whole lot of people there, the young, the old, the physically challenged, children especially. They are really suffering. Most times they don't even have what to eat. Most of those children are sent out to the streets to beg for alms, and it's the little money they see, they used to get food for the day or the next day.
So, okay, why did you go out to that area to do what you were doing with your friend?
This idea basically was brought up by my friend.
Yes.
She said she was around that area some weeks before her birthday, and she noticed those children, basically the way they were roaming about the streets begging for alms. Although there's this thing happens a lot in Lagos, not just in that area, even the area where we live, we see a lot of children around begging for alms, children that should be in school, actually. Most of them are from the northern part of Nigeria. Most of them came down to Lagos because of the insurgency going over in their states due to the Boko Haram attack and all. So she said she noticed them begging for alms, and even while she tried giving one of the children money, they were fighting over it between themselves. So she said, okay, I think this is a beautiful thing to do for my birthday. I'll go to where they are exactly and just distribute some food and drinks to them, at least for the day.
Okay, that was very, 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 very great that she decided to do that. But how old are these children we're talking about now?
Basically from the range of 4 to 8.
4 to 8 years old?
Yeah.
And where are their parents?
Their parents most times are the one who send them out to beg for alms.
Okay, you say to beg. You know when you say to beg for alms, what does that mean? Because that seems a very Nigerian term. Because we beg for alms means like, I don't know what beg for alms means. Explain that.
Okay, I mean, they go out on the street and they do something like, "Good afternoon, auntie. Please give me money. I've not eaten. Please give me money." Like they're begging for money. They're begging for something to get, probably water or food. They're telling you they're hungry. They need to eat something. No matter the amount you give them, it's not little. Something like that.
So they're born into basically begging.
Yes, they are. It's a cycle that keeps going on and on. Their parents were born as children doing this. Then they also grow, give birth to children, and the same children do the same thing. But
see, from an outsider looking in, I would say, wow, that's unacceptable. These are just near, toddlers. They should be being looked after, and the parents should be looking after them. They shouldn't be going out there. But again, that's from the outsider looking in. From the inside looking out, potentially they could be looking at their children as wealth, of ways to make money early in their lives. What do you think about that?
Basically, just as I mentioned earlier, most of them were in their states, basically their occupation is farming. But when the Boko Haram insurgency started, most of them were forced to come down to Lagos, and they didn't have what to do basically, so they took to begging. Also, there's this phenomenon where it's called al-Majiri. It's based on an Islamic teaching that, although it's a false teaching, where they believe that begging is a sort of way of life. That's also a reason why they do this. But I think basically it's about changing their psychology, that begging isn't, they can do other things for themselves apart from begging. Even if their situation warrants that they should, there are still other things apart from begging that they can do to make themselves better living people.
See, from the UK, a lot of people will see charities. They walk down the street, they're giving money to charities. How effective are these charities that come from these Western worlds into Africa? How effective are they in Nigeria, for example?
Well, personally, I've never heard of any charity brought from the Western world to Nigeria. I haven't heard of any that was effective. I haven't even heard of any before.
What about things like Christian Aid?
Christian Aid?
Yes.
I haven't heard of it.
So you've heard of no West. So what about the charities that do come in and the humanitarian work that happens in Nigeria? How does that work? What help does that bring, or does it bring more problems?
Okay, here we have some non-governmental organizations. There's the NGO that organizes different programs for different causes, like probably to eradicate street begging, for example, or to eradicate children on the streets that are not in school. But most of the times you realize that people behind these things, when people donate to them, they just misuse the funds and they use it for their own personal interest. They don't use the money for what it was contributed for exactly in the first place. And also, one other problem is sometimes the government acts as an hindrance. They say you want to do something and they don't support you. And apart from the support, they also do not give you that free will to do what would actually benefit everybody. They begin to put some laws in place that would hinder you from actually achieving what you want to do. Except, people in high places that you can talk to and will just give you that free pass.
Give us examples of how the government is restrictive.
Okay. For example, picking children off the streets to take them back to school. You have to sort of get an approval from the government that, okay, this is what my organization wants to do. We want to pick children off the streets and put them back in school. They have to give you an approval or a go-ahead that, okay, yeah, your organization can do this. Because from their own point of view, they'll say they're not sure if that is truly your intentions. It could be you want to, because there's this recurring issue of rituals and all in the country. So they could say, oh, probably you want to use these children for rituals. There just has to be something to make them certain that, okay, yeah, this is exactly what you want to do and this is exactly what you would do.
But isn't that more child protection?
Yeah, it is. But most times it's not easy for these NGOs to get a proof that would ascertain that, okay, yeah, this is exactly what we're doing. Until they begin to do it, they can't actually prove that, okay, yeah, this is what we are doing.
Okay, so what about funding? What funding is available to alleviate the poverty that is in these areas of Nigeria?
Do you mean from the government?
Yes.
Okay. During the Fashola regime, that was, I think, 2015 in Lagos, he tried eradicating the street beggars. Although he did it by force mainly, he sent most of them back to their states. At the moment, I don't think there's any fund in place that helps the street beggars. I don't think so. I haven't heard of any. I don't know of any.
So, okay, from the outside world, there's a lot of negative and stereotypes about Nigeria. What are the stereotypes that you know of, and why have they come about?
Okay, this stereotype of Nigerians being fraudsters, and that's due to the internet fraud done by most Nigerian male folks, where they scam people abroad and all. Yeah, some people do it, yeah, but it doesn't mean everybody in the country does it. It doesn't mean that is the general way of life of everybody here. The truth is, most Nigerians they are hustlers. They try to make things work for themselves because the government most times isn't ready to do anything for anybody in the country. So these fraudsters, yeah, there are other things they could do. Most times all this is born out of laziness on their part. They don't want to work hard and make their money. They believe scamming people is an easy way to make money for themselves, and which is absolutely wrong. And I believe there are actually things in place that has been curbing this internet fraudsters, like the SARS in Nigeria. They try to pick up these guys and enforce the proper law to stop them from doing what they do.
Okay. Talk to me more about Boko Haram. You were telling me about that and what was going on and the coup and all that stuff.
Yeah, the Boko Haram basically is a sect, an Islamic sect. Supposedly, the bombs certain parts of the northern Nigeria. They are fighting against Western education. They believe that Islamic education, according to them, is the way. Like Western education is an harm to them. That is what they believe. So most of the times they bomb churches. In fact, they use children for these things. If you follow African news and all, you would have heard of several times where they said there was a bomb in a place in the northern Nigerian where a bomb was strapped to a child's body, and the child just probably went to the church and everywhere exploded. So basically, that's what's going on.
But what is it about the Western teachings that these people do not like? What is it about it?
Well, basically, I would say their orientation is absolutely wrong. They believe that the Western world, or the Western teachings as education and Christianity basically would divert their people from their religion, which is Islam. Okay. And they believe that it's only through the Islamic teachings that the people would be able to make heaven. In fact, they even try to brainwash these people that the number of people they kill is the number of increases the rate at which they would make heaven. That's al-Jannah in Islamic language.
Wow. So talk to us about some of these Islamic ways that are part of the culture, which either are helping to poverty or contributing to poverty, or beneficial to the people.
Well, the Islamic way that contributes to poverty is what I mentioned earlier, the al-Majri way of life. Mm. It's a whole long history. It has been for years, and it's not really practiced here in Lagos. It's mainly practiced in the northern states, where you see this Islamic people. They go to restaurants. Certain people who probably ate and left over their food, they go there, they grab the food, eat, and go and run away and go eat it. And basically the orientation is they can only feed themselves by begging. That's the basic orientation behind the Almajiri
So they can't.
way of life.
So they cannot go and get themselves a job and better themselves. They have to just beg.
Exactly. That's the way they were taught. That is not the actual real teachings that was brought up like initially. But I think some people tried changing the whole thing and started teaching the wrong thing entirely. And this has really brainwashed the people around there, and that is what they follow now.
So okay, so we're now in 2019 with you, Peace. What are your thoughts about this, and how do we move this forward?
Okay. So basically, I believe on working on this project of eradicating this street beggars and destitutes, we would be starting with Lagos. That is where I stay.
Yes.
There are a whole lot of communities where these people reside. There's even a place called Makoko. These people they sleep on water. They sleep on it's a riverine area, so it's their conditions of living is very, very bad. I've been there once, and what I saw wasn't pleasant to the eyes at all. So basically, we would have to start with changing their psychology, making them understand that they can make something of themselves, that they don't necessarily have to beg to earn a living, that they can also do something by themselves, for themselves. Also, there's this problem with the female folks of the northern people. They tend to just use them as childbearing, should I say, machine.
Sex objects.
Female folks. Yeah.
Sex objects.
Yeah, sex objects. So they don't even believe they can do anything for themselves apart from getting married to a man and giving birth to children for him. And this getting married, most of them gets married immediately they start menstruating, and that is about from 12 years old. That is when they get married.
12 years old.
Start menstruating. Yes, once they start menstruating, then they believe that they are of marriageable age, and they give them out to a man to get married to.
And how old are these men?
They could be 50 years old. They could be 80 years. Most of the times, they actually have wives before then. This new girl is coming would be probably their second wife or their third wife. We really have to change their psychology. I mean, these people are living in poverty, yet they keep on having children. I mean, it's really disturbing. One of the things they believe is they don't believe in contraceptives or should I say or decreasing the number of children they should have. Like, they just have children, and
well,
a man could have 10 children, 20 children.
Go forth,
and he doesn't even have the means to take care of them.
Go forth and multiply. That's what you're basically saying. That's the mentality.
Exactly. That's the mentality. That's exactly the mentality. Irrespective of if they can, most of the time they can't even take care of a child, and you see them having 10 children. I mean, it's totally absurd.
But if this from the mentality that, well, if I have these children, they can go out and beg and bring money to me and bring food to me, then the more children I have, the more wealth I can have. Is that not would that not make sense to their mentality then? You tell me.
Exactly. They do think that way because they don't believe they can make something of themselves. Like, they can work and earn and be better people due to the teachings they have received in their state, and all the old psychology behind it is basically the teachings they have received and how they were brought up, basically.
I know we were talking earlier about how these men are able to they can sleep with any female they feel like, irrespective if they're married or not. If they see them, they can just sleep with them. Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Did you hear
Sorry,
what I said?
I didn't get that.
Yeah, I said
No.
that these men are able to sleep with any woman they feel like sleeping with. They, irrespective of whether, if they see a woman, they can engage with them.
Oh no, I think no. That was a mistake. That
Okay.
wasn't what I meant. What I meant is they just have sex with this. They're like most of the times these girls that they get married to.
Yes.
They could get married to three girls, like girls between the age of 12, 13, 15, in as much as they have started menstruating, they just sleep with them. These girls keep on having children and children and children for them. Like, they don't even mind the fact that they aren't even mature enough to start having children, that they aren't even mature enough to should I say, even take care of children. They don't mind. They just sleep with them and having children.
So what about the father in all this? Does the father not feel any way that his daughter's being slept with another man?
It's the culture. That's their way of life. So it's not foreign to them. It's normal.
So okay, then explain to me the culture of the calf and selling the cow and having a cow for the wife and to get a wife and stuff like that.
Okay, basically there's a form of dowry.
Yes, dowry. Yes.
Yeah.
But the dowry
Okay,
can't. But how does that differ? You got a dowry in that situation, but what about these situations? There's no dowry then, surely.
No, there's no dowry. No. They just okay. I haven't actually been lived within this northern community as such.
Right.
But I know. Huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. But I know that these girls are just giving to this man. Probably this man is the friend to another man, and this other man has a daughter that he believes should be married. So he gives his friend, okay, take, my daughter is of marriageable age, get married to her. It's basically done that way.
Wow. So what do you think it's going to take? I know you've got these ideas, but what do you think it's going to take to make real change?
Well, first of all, it's about changing their thinking, changing their psychology, making them understand that begging isn't the way, that having a lot of children isn't the way, that they can make something beautiful of themselves, that they can actually have formal education and it would be beneficial to them, that they can have a skill set that would work for them and would earn them money.
So how would that work as a gateway? So, okay, you've got, let's say you walk in, I said, we walk into one community, one township in Nigeria. We work on that one township. We look to save one community first and use that as an example for the rest of the communities.
Okay.
How would you convert that person who's in a poverty mindset to going to school and not begging and doing something for their lives? How would that conversion rate work? How do you transfer them from A to B? How do you get them across that bridge?
Well, it would take a lot of coming down to your level, understanding them, then talking to them. First of all, in talking to them, we're identifying the major problems, which is first of all feeding. You have to at least feed them.
Yes.
Because it's only when you cater a bit for them, that's when you can bring them closer to you and
to talk to them
and understand what they're really going through, thereby making steps on how to work with them and help them become better people.
I spoke to a Nigerian lady yesterday at a conference, and I said to her about these ideas, and she said to me, you know something, Ingram? I said, what? She said, it's will they want their help? Will they receive their help? Do they want their help? Do they want to actually get help? Or do they see that their position is heaven for them? That's the question.
Yeah, that's exactly that is. And I feel or should I say, I would have to go over there and talk to them. I mean, on knowing if, okay, yeah, I can say which is actually what I want to do. I want to try to change them and help them become better people. But if they don't want to, then if they don't want this thing, I can't actually force them or anything. So I have to talk to them one on one. I feel if you understand the person, you can actually walk your way into their minds.
Okay.
If you come down to their level and talk well to them, you can walk your way into their minds.
So what are the churches doing about this? How do they interact with these people?
The churches, basically the churches just once in a while, they go over there, give donations, food, drinks, water. Probably someone is having a birthday in the church and he or she says, okay, let's go to this particular place and just share stuff for the people, just like what my friend did. So it's not like they're trying to change the old thing. It's just a once in a while thing where they share stuff for these people and just give out to them, basically.
Okay. So how do you think that BWTM can help you?
Hello?
Hi, I'm here. How do you think we can help? How do you think we can work together to make this happen? You tell me, please.
Okay. I think BWTM can help by making people understand what exactly is going on in this country and getting people who can donate towards this cause and just help the lives of people over here.
Well, I think the best thing we can start doing is by giving coverage from the area itself, videos, photographs, reports. So we get news. We get news. People know what's going on. People can see what's going on. You know, people see stuff from charities and documentaries, but when they know there's a connection, they have a connection. They know BWTM, and they get to know who you are, and they get to know a team that's on the ground. Then we can be delivering news all the time in the area.
Okay.
That's
perfect.
Definitely. So keep us updated.
All right. Definitely, I will.
Absolutely, and we'll continue this conversation obviously off air, and we will continue to update listeners. Of course, if you're listening to this now, please leave your comments in the comment section. If you're willing to help, please let us know and support this journey. This is something that I for sure am going to definitely get involved with. I've known this young lady a little while now, so I've been talking to her for a while about this matter, and we want to give you as much information and scope on this as possible. And do you have any requests yourselves, Peace, before we continue this?
Okay. When I mention donations, I don't just mean monetary donations. It could be a person it could be a psychologist, somebody that could talk to them and make them understand that they could be better people. It could be even healthcare donations. I mean, some of those people are physically challenged. They need certain things that could make their lives better. So when I say donations, I don't just mean monetary donations. So it could also be people who are willing to
a workforce.
Come over here and
absolutely a workforce. Exactly. But you know what? There's ways we can do it. So we can get the YouTube. We can do YouTube Live. That would be amazing. YouTube Live on at the venue, or you can record stuff and upload it to the channel, so people can get an idea of what the area is like. So people can see live or as close to the action as possible. You know, and even then we can have we could send a small donation over to you. You can pick it up via Western Union, and we can see the money move from Western Union, literally from where you pick it up from Western Union to the people in the area, and seeing how that process works. I think it's certainly about encouragement and also about trust. People become skeptical about things like this, so we need to gain their trust and show them that we are above board and we are workmen and work lady like.
Exactly. You're absolutely right.
How else do you think we can get the trust of the people and keep the trust of the people?
This would be by keeping true to our word, doing exactly what we say we want to do, not being greedy in any way, not being selfish in any way. It's about doing exactly what we're saying we want to do, without putting any form of doubt in the minds of the people.
Should we say that Sundays are because obviously Sunday's the day where you'll probably be most available, correct?
Yeah, correct.
So we can make Sundays be our Africa Focus Day, or Africa Focus Evening. So
wow, that would be beautiful. Yeah.
Sundays, Africa Focus, or Nigeria Focus, or Africa Focus, or Africa Now.
Africa Focus.
Africa Focus. All right. So Africa Focus it is. Peace. Okay. Thank you so much for being my Nigerian or African correspondent now.
Thank you so much for having me and making me your African correspondent.
Now, Peace, by the way, how do people follow you on Twitter, for example?
Yeah, basically I post content that relates to what I believe in and what I want to do, what I feel people should know about, basically.
So, what's your Twitter handle?
At PoriaSpec, PoriaSpec.
Say that one more time.
At PoriaSpec, PoriaSpec.
Okay. Thank you so much. And Peace, I look forward to speaking to you soon.
Thank you very much, BWTM. It's really an honor to be on here.
Take care.